authority between the warrant to the contracting officer and what the contracting officer did with the Corps, and what the Corps felt that his or her responsibilities were. That looks bad on the agency. So they're going to try to get it fixed as quickly as possible, but it could be that they just say, look, you messed this up, and the government could care less whether this room is this beige in color or spot green, and so you did that without authority, you're not getting paid for it. And just call it, so it is your responsibility though.
So ramifications really do kind of depend on the size of the project, on the size of the problem that was posed during that contract.
Yeah, and
like
what this,
small petty problems, as long as they were, dealt with appropriately and like there was a remedy in place. I mean, I'm just wondering like how much of a mistake is so much of a mistake that, I mean, it's going to kind of tarnish your name to get any other contract.
yeah, I mean, I always felt like bad news was not like fine wine. It didn't get better with age. So if I had an issue, and you are going to have issues with contracts, let's just accept that, okay? I went to the contracting officer and I said, look, this is the problem we have. This is what we've done to fix it so far. Either it's worked or it hasn't worked, or this is what our future plan is. And I just was very upfront with them. And I'm not trying to brag, but I was running a $500 million contract for the Navy. And the Navy was about to release this NMCI contract. And I was so focused on my contract, I did very little. I did some proposal stuff. And I had no idea who the source selection authority was for that contract. And come to find out, it was my contracting officer. And everybody in Washington thought another company was going to win this deal. So much so that they had bought up like a lot of the party space in the area because they were so confident they were going to win this thing. And it was announced that we won it. And quite honestly, we were just as shocked as anybody. I mean, it was really kind of... And it wasn't until like 4 or 5 months later that she told me that because we had such an open and honest relationship on the SPAR contract, that I had presented that EDS was an upfront, we'll always solve the problem for you. And that's why we were awarded the contract. That from a trust factor, I mean, obviously we had to have the right price, we had to have the right technical solution, we had to have all our ducks in a row, but you'll have all your ducks in a row on all your, you'll really work hard to get all your ducks in a row, but something pushes them to make an award decision, and she shared with me that that was the case. So my point is that if you get a reputation of being a slimy contractor, you will be marked in the government, and they talk to each other. I'm not saying that it's going to impact all your federal business, but I would just adopt the upfront strategy with them, because what you don't want them to do is rely on your information where you keep saying everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine, and then you get to the contract end and nothing's fine. And now the contracting officer has been telling their boss, and the program team has been telling their bosses that everything's going great, and now they're at risk of missing the mission. That's when they get congressional increase. That's why it's important to just keep them informed of what's going on. Anything else, sir? Is lunch at 12?
Yes.
All right, let's see if I can finish this up. Agency termination. So an agent, if you're an agent for a person, that's called agency. You can terminate that agency by mutual agreement of the principal and the agent. So if my sister would have walked in and said, we're terminating this agency agreement, we're going to take over now, and the agent said, okay, fine, I'm out, you're in, that's mutual agreement. Or you could say that the contract is over, like this contract is supposed to last the duration of this real estate exchange. The real estate exchange has been accomplished, it's over. Or by the principal's revocation, meaning taking back of the authority. So my sister and Steve come in and say, no, they don't want the agent to do anymore, they're pulling it back. Or by the agent's own renunciation. So the agent, have decided I'm not going to do this contract anymore, and I'm letting you know I'm not going to do this contract anymore. Or by operation of law. So if the agent died, then obviously the agency would be finished. Wasn't that a fun time, huh? Hey, but look at that, I gave you 6 minutes extra for lunch. Okay, so the story now is the 3 of you are leaving, and you're going to be leaving soon. And all 4 of you.
He's staying.
Exactly.
So we're going to dial in on the conference call line. So if y'all want to dial in, listen, and we'll get started. What time will we get started at? Well, y'all not leaving until 1, so lunch will be over. So we'll go ahead and dial in and just leave it on at that point. Are you living at one
It'll be
ten?
extra one.
Okay, so it'll already be on there.
Sure, and do you all have the phone numbers to call in?
No, I need to get that.
That meeting request, I will email it out again, but that meeting request, what we did for the first one in January, if that's on your calendar, it's the same number. But I'll send it to you again.